Hi HED634 students, welcome to week 4. So we are really sort of getting into the groove of things with this course, and I have really enjoyed all of the great dialogues that we've had over the past few weeks. I want to draw your attention to a couple of things for this week. We are going to continue our investigation into external accrediting agencies and specifically ask you to identify one in the institution that you're studying and kind of show us the impact and or what that agency is really looking for in that particular institution. So that's really our discussion area, but do read through the description. There's a little more specificity there. Remember, we do have a written assignment due this week, and if you recall, on weeks where we have a written assignment, I have excused you from the lens that we provided for peer responses, and so you can feel free to respond to your peers sort of through any lens that you think is appropriate. Just make sure that it's substantive in nature and that you're still using the resources, whether ones provided in our course this week or other outside credible sources, to really back your kind of reinforcement or challenging of that original post. I'd like to see some really nice, hopeful debate and dialogue in there if we can get to that point. So that's our discussion this week. And then you are going to turn in 3 more parts of your final project. Again, you are studying one institution, and again, the final project is part of your institutional study. I wanted to point out a couple of things that I saw in the first submission for our final project, just to make sure that everyone is kind of clear that you're writing a monograph, a manuscript, if you will. So you do want each section to flow. And by that, I mean typically you want to introduce what you're going to tell us, you then tell us, and then you remind us what you told us. So introduction, body, and conclusion for each section. And then preferably you find a way to transition from one section to another, maybe at the very end of a conclusion from a previous section or at the beginning of an introduction for a new section. But you do want to create some sort of flow, if you will, through those 3 sections, some threads that you pull throughout so that it is apparent to the reader what they're really reading about and how each of those sections really fits together to provide a broad sort of perspective on that institution. So just a couple of things there. Make sure that you are following APA formatting with respect to your headers and your body and whatnot. I know there were a couple of slight missteps there. And then, of course, most importantly, make sure that you're putting all of your work in your own words and that you're using proper citation throughout. So happy to provide some feedback on that towards the middle of next week. And do note that I do reattach your submissions in the grading feedback with a lot of detailed comments and suggestions in those. So make sure that you're always opening that. I do expect all of that feedback to be incorporated into your final project, unless we've talked about it and we've agreed that potentially that's not the right way to go. But otherwise, I would suspect I would see all of that feedback incorporated into your final. So I'm really looking forward to seeing those assignments, looking forward to seeing you in the discussions. Also, I will be sending out the Zoom invitation for the meeting with our Dean, Dean Viola, and also your new program director, Nate Cradit. So looking forward for you all having the opportunity to meet both of them. I actually think a lot of you met Dean Viola in Florida once, so it'll be a second opportunity to talk to our Dean, who is just wonderful. So with that, I will say have a fantastic week. I'll look forward to seeing you in the discussions, and let me know if you need anything at all. Take care. Bye-bye.